Alright, so with DC Studios about to come into full swing with James Gunn's rebooted DC Universe slate that is starting up next year with Superman, and now breaking just yesterday that there seems to be developing a live-action team-up villain movie with Bane and Deathstroke, and I think that this could be a big deal, or this could raise people's expectations of what they can expect from it, or and even with the questions that people have, this could work inside of what James Gunn is doing with his DC timeline and so much more. And that's what I'm gonna break down in this video, talk about what we can expect. Plus, it's in the early process, and I'm just gonna talk about it more. And so, if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss on any future videos. But now, let's talk about it. And now, when it comes to Bane and Deathstroke, and these two villains, they are related to Batman, and now that we are getting these two in a live-action team-up film that is going to be basically a solo film that is going to be in a new DC universe run by James Gunn, and even with Bane, who was the main villain in Dark Knight Rises, that was portrayed by Tom Hardy, he crushed it as the villain, and even with every line delivery, it sent chills down everyone's spines. He was a menace trying to terrorize Gotham and tried to tear apart Bruce Wayne, and that was a great movie. And of course, that movie had a great villain, and on top of that, you got Deathstroke, and he was in the DCEU, and he made a cameo in 2017's theatrical cut of Justice League, and setting up something that was never going to happen, and that had Lex Luthor, and I think Deathstroke was portrayed by Joe Manganiello, and I think that was never touched upon again. But now, since we're in new territory with James Gunn, with this new team-up film that is going to feature Cad Bane and Deathstroke, I think this could be a good idea. And now with that said, all that, we may also need to think about is that this is going to be the first villain team-up film. I think it's going to be in the DCU. Again, this is in early stages of development. That's going to have James Gunn and Peter Safran producing this movie, and we have no clue if this is going to be in the DCU continuity or in DC Elseworlds, like we have with Matt Reeves' Batman or Todd Phillips' Joker, and that's not answered yet. I'm pretty sure James Gunn explained all that when he did his announcement, and also with Matthew Orton, who's going to be writing the script for this movie. Not to mention, he did write the script for the upcoming Captain America: Brave New World. I think that movie is going to be great, and I think I expect it to be good. It has groundbreaking Winter Soldier vibes, and that movie with the reshoots, but with a Bane and Deathstroke team-up film that's going to be written by that same writer being attached to that movie. I think this movie can be good, unless it's a good script and it has good storytelling. I hope that they don't mess this up, and even what James Gunn's vision is, he has plans to do to make audiences happy, that a new phase of DC movies is beginning, and having this first villain movie, I think it's going to be a step up. And also, with people that are saying online if this could or could not work, and because it's still very early on in the process, that people are starting to criticize it a little bit, and the fact that we haven't gotten the rest of James Gunn's DC slate yet, and even though it starts with Superman, I'm pretty sure that movie is going to be a hit. And James Gunn has creative visions, sometimes behind the camera. He's written some great stuff, like with the Guardians trilogy, the Suicide Squad, and I'm pretty sure he's cooking up a great stuff with his DC timeline of movies. And I mean, I think this is going to be a reboot that the DC universe needs, and the fact that this movie is still very early on in the process, and we have no idea who's going to be portraying these villains, and no actors are confirmed yet, but I do expect it to be good. And the fact that this is going to be the first villain team-up movie that's not going to include Batman, and that's what people are so upset about, that they're going to try to copy the Sony Spider-Man universe format and try to make it on their own spin. And I'm pretty sure if they do get a Batman in there, that would be good. But with a Bane and Deathstroke, a villain team-up movie, just going on their adventure, learning about themselves, kind of like a Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm pretty sure this could work. But we'll have to see as more announcements start to develop. And plus, we're in a new phase of DC movies. And now, for what I can see for a Bane and Deathstroke movie, is that like we've only seen Deathstroke making a couple of appearances, but now getting a film alongside Cat Bane, probably exploring their villainy, and and I think like we can have these two in like a proper screen time that they deserve, because even with a Deathstroke that was treated poorly in the DCEU, and I think this movie can do better, is that if we get like a team up film and it becomes successful, and I think our audiences would like more of these people that were teamed up in this film, and it could probably generate so much hype, and I think it could be worth it. Even for when this news came about that DC Studios is making a solo team-up movie that's going to feature these two villains that are related to Batman, and I think they could be on the right track for the future, and it's because with the DCEU, I think that was a failure, and even though, I mean, we said goodbye to it, but now we're on to this next phase, and I think they have some good ideas planned up their sleeve, and with Bane and Deathstroke, I think that they could be explored a lot more, especially as they are teaming up together on the big screen. And I think it's now a lot more down the line, but I think this could be good. It could not be good, but like I think it's wait a little bit. But you know that this is still very early on in development. But I think I could smell the success for DC's future here. And also, one last thing that I will say here is with DC Studios that they are making this movie, I think it is very cool and sort of like smart, because they can explore the source material, see what kind of characters that they have, and like make them right. Especially with a villain team-up movie like with Bane and Deathstroke. But even with the most important question is that where does it fit onto the timeline, and can it make sense, especially for the future? I think we have to get some clarity, especially from James Gunn first. But I think we're up to a great start again. It's still in early stages, but I think we're gonna get some more news for who will be portraying these villains, or what the story is going to be, and I think it's going to be off to a great start, and I can't wait to see if when it comes out and if it could be any good. But that's going to do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below, and what are your thoughts on a Bane and Deathstroke movie that is early on in the works, and how do you feel about this news, especially for the DCU continuity? Just let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, and subscribe, and turn on notifications about future videos, and also follow all my social medias over the links down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.